So let's get right to the point. Can a probate property be sold as is? The answer is yes. You can sell a probate property as is, but there are many things that should be taken into account before you make that decision. Oftentimes, when we work with estate representatives, one of the first questions we get is, can we sell the property as is? The answer is yeah. You can sell it with all of the items inside the home. You can sell it with no repairs done. But the reality is that it could lead to a decrease in sales proceeds for the estate. And as the personal representative, you have a fiduciary duty to do what's best for the estate. Now, in what scenarios would selling as is be the right option? One scenario might be that there are no additional funds outside of the value of the home, and there are bills that need to be paid and other items that need to be handled attached to the estate. And so with that scenario, if there are no funds to help remove items from the home or get some basic repairs done, then maybe selling as is your best option. What other scenarios might be a good option for selling as is? If you start to look at a property and you realize that there's some broken tiles on the floor and the broken tiles need replaced, but then as you're walking through you realize, oh, there's a couple of dents in the wall, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, all of the appliances in the kitchen are really dated, like significantly dated or damaged. The list kind of starts to grow and it becomes a can of worms, right? And in those sorts of scenarios, unless there is a significant amount of funds and the family really wants to put money into the property in hopes to gain back a significant amount of money, it just might not make sense to sell after repairs. It might make more sense to just sell the property as is. And we did recently have a property like this. It was a really beautiful home that was cool design where, it was kind of circular, but the property just hadn't had any updates done in a long time, and there was some damage to some of the windows, and there was a damaged sliding glass door, and the kitchen really had a lot of details that needed done. And it just got to the point where the list became so long that putting the money in would have cost a significant amount of time and money to the estate. It just didn't make any sense to do that. It was better to sell as is to an investor. One of the other things to keep in mind when selling as is that you are going to get a lower price for the property. There's a chance that you might get the same price, but you're putting a property on the market in a condition that is not at its best, and therefore the value of the property is much lower, and the buyers that you're going to bring in are going to want to pay a lower price. You're also going to have a smaller buyer pool. A lot of times when a property is being sold as is and has a lot of damage to it, the traditional buyers are not able to purchase those homes. Or if they are purchasing it, there's going to be certain stipulations that they have to meet, which is going to limit the pool of buyers. Many times when you're selling a property as is, FHA and VA loans will not be possible because they have very particular requirements for the state of a property if you're going to purchase it FHA or VA. Again, limiting the buyer pool. Now, this is not all scenarios. There are chances that there will be certain things or buyers that could squeak through the cracks or be able to purchase the property. But a lot of times what we find is that when you're selling a property as is, it's going to sell to an investor or a limited pool of conventional buyers. As with all property sales, it's important that you disclose any potential problems with the property. So if there is a hole in a ceiling, you need to disclose it. If you know that there is some problems with the plumbing and it's something that you have documentation on or you've had reviewed at some point in inspection, you need to disclose that. There are lots of things like this that need to be put on paper and shared with potential buyers. And again, that can decrease the price and limit the buyer pool. So what do we suggest? If the property isn't in disrepair, it may not be in the best interest of the estate to sell as is. Sometimes we come into a home and all it needs is paint and carpet. And though these things could seem like a big purchase or a big cost, it might be not very much compared to the amount of value that it'll add to the home. We almost never recommend huge repairs on properties because it's time consuming, it's expensive, and a lot of times estate representatives don't want to have to go through the process of doing a full flip on a property. However, there are lots of minor repairs that can provide additional income to the estate simply by taking the time to have a little bit of paint and a little bit of carpet taken care of. Simply put, spending a small amount up front can provide a higher value to the property and additional buyers who are interested just because a couple of basic things have been taken care of. If you are unsure about whether you should sell as is or take care of some minor repairs, we always recommend that you reach out to professionals. You can get a real estate agent who specializes in probate and trust sales and see what their opinion on the situation is. You can also reach out to your legal team and see if they can provide you with some good recommendations for agents in your area that can help you. An experienced real estate professional who specializes in preparing, marketing, and selling estate properties can help you weigh the options for selling as is or taking care of some minor repairs. They can provide insight into your local market and recommend cost-effective ways to maximize the home's value for the estate. And in doing so, they can help you to follow through on your fiduciary duty. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Don't forget to follow our channel. We have lots of informative videos for executors, administrators, and trustees like yourself. And if you want more information on cost-effective repairs, we have several videos on our channel that can help you through that process. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.